It's still before 7, so still within my usual streaming hours. I'm gonna allow it. Yep. Hello, Internet. Hi, everybody. I made a better sign for going to break, just like I said I would. I promised that that was something that I could do to improve this channel, and I did do that. You can see it right there. I've been practicing calligraphy in my spare time, so we get that. Jesus, sorry about that. Well, that's not... coughing is not the best way to begin a stream, but I'm okay. I think it's gone for now. Hello to anybody who might be joining us for the first time. Welcome. Happy to have you. I am just announcing to my very cool Discord server that I am doing a stream, starting about a half hour later than I usually do, but considering that I never stream on a schedule, I'm technically not late. So, it still counts. If you'd like to join us on Discord, you really should. It's tons of fun. I'll grab a link and post it in the Discord. I'm just letting everybody there know that I'm streaming, which, you know, is good to do when you have a small following of really nice, dedicated hobbyists who want to hang out with you while you fix a million freaking Tau. I'm going to probably just be continuing to base coat them today. Nothing too exciting. I know that's like really exciting to say that the stream won't be exciting because I'm just gonna be base coating, but you know, sometimes that's what you have to do in order to get an army painted. You have to spend a fuckload of time base coating everything. That's just how it goes. Hi, Josh. Hello, Hive Fleet Kalos. Hello. I've never seen you on the stream before. Welcome. It is your first time. That's so exciting. We have a much better going to break sign than we did before. So you get to see the fancy one and not the shitty one that I wrote on the back of an old envelope. We have this now. Thank you, Owen. Yes. Hello, everybody. Thank you. I said I was going to post a link to the Discord server, and then I did not copy that link at all. So let me get that. Let me get that. There we go. I'm a professional now. Here we go. So it's back to Tau Test Kitchen, where I paint more Tau in the same colors that I was using before. There's Tau, and then there's more Tau. And then after I finish all of these Tau, there will be even more Tau after that. It's an endless, endless cycle of Tau, just as God intended. Oh, nice! I'm glad. I'm so glad you were able to join us. Sometimes people are like, I've been waiting to join your streams, and I'm like, that's insane. I didn't know that people, like, were waiting around for an opportunity to watch this. Hector would like to stop you from watching it, as my cats are all trying to chew on the cord. Stop that. Baby, no! Go away. Do you have cats, Hive Fleet Kalos? Are there cats in your Tyranid Hive Fleet? Because, oh boy, are there mischievous ones in mine. What color scheme will these ones be? We are continuing to work on some key lime pie inspired Tau. As you can see, I am putting down layers for the graham cracker crust aspect of the key lime pie. I have a finished Tau. I have 2 finished examples of what the final products are going to look like. If you'd like me to grab one, I can. I'd be happy to show that off, because I spent a lot of time hemming and hawing, as they say, over how to paint these. So I'd be more than happy to flex a little bit on my final decision. The Wi-Fi is hot garbage on this raft. Yeah, you're on a raft, Josh. You could be doing other things, Josh. You could be enjoying your vacation, but instead you're listening to me scold you for not enjoying your vacation. Silly. I promise y'all, when I go on vacation, when I'm at Gen Con, I will not be doing lives. There will be no sugar candy miniatures live from the Gen Con floor, okay? I will be there enjoying myself, purchasing way too many miniatures, that kind of thing. All right, you have said you want to see the Tau. All right, let me go get the Tau. Let me get the boy. So this is the final product that we are working towards. I be painting. Yep. I wish you could go this year too. That would be fun. But there's always next year. This is the end goal for the key lime pie Tau. They have this beautiful bright green, little dollop of whipped cream. As you can see, the graham cracker has kind of like a variation, so it looks like baked, so it's lighter in some places and darker in others. Then a nice yellow glow to it. So I don't have a little guy painted up, but I have Commander Bojangles here. So we know what we're aiming for. I'm sure Lobster Thermidor would have forgiven you and also would have eaten his namesake. He is a cat that gives little regard for the lives of any creatures, least of all those he finds delicious. But yeah, the first step is getting the graham cracker crust base done. So once I've finished getting this coat down, they will get some sponging of various other browns on them. And that gets messy, so I want to do that first, so that when I paint all of the other subsequent layers, it'll be clean and you won't get any graham cracker sponging onto places that you don't want it. Sometimes how I describe my painting style is it's a bit ridiculous, but you know what? It makes sense in the end. We get there. Lego guns, they do kind of look like Legos. But I just kind of wanted to make them look like they were glowing. And yellow's my favorite color, so I chose yellow for their glowing. It does kind of make them look like Legos, though, now that you mention it. Hi, Orc Doc! Weird Nurgle units. That's because they're not Nurgle. This is not a Nurgle safe space. Do I play, too? Yes, I do. I played in the Adepticon tournament for Age of Sigmar. I lost spectacularly. I like to play Warhammer. Would I say that I'm good at Warhammer? No. No, I am not. I'm working to get better. There are things in my way, like a general unfamiliarity with wargames. The fact that I have dyscalculia, which is not easy for doing math. And generally being a little bit intimidated by my local 40k scene makes it harder for me to learn the game. But I'm getting there. A lot of help has come from battle reports on YouTube, from asking other hobbyists, and I would say I play Blood Bowl more than any other Games Workshop product. That's the one that I'm in a league for. I know the rules to best of my ability for. And, you know, it's not as dense as something like Warhammer 40k, which has a lot of rules. But I'm learning. I'm gonna get there. S. Glenny asks, questions, are you ASD? I don't know what that stands for, so I cannot answer your question. Sorry. If that's like a wargaming thing, maybe I should know, but I don't. Okay. The stream is lagging because of your Wi-Fi. Like I said, go enjoy being on a raft. Don't bother with this. You have a nice night, Josh. You enjoy yourself. Okay. Yeah, Dyscalculia does suck. Reading IP addresses is a fun time. No worries, SL Glenny, that's okay. You're asking if I am autistic or have autism. I have not been diagnosed with it. I do not think so, but a lot of people realize later in adulthood that they are autistic or show signs of it, so I haven't been diagnosed with it. To the best of my knowledge, I am not autistic. But I also have a pretty bad relationship with doctors and psychiatrists and shit like that in general, so who's to say, honestly? But I don't think so. Definitely have Dyscalculia, though. It's nice to see a lot of people getting diagnosed with autism later in life. Unfortunately, they didn't get it, you know, when they were younger and could have learned coping skills earlier on. But it seems like it is helpful for people to find a diagnosis and methods of coping and stuff like that. And just kind of be like, oh yeah, like, I respond to things this way because I am autistic. So, you know. I want to be supportive of people in that community as well. I just don't happen to be a part of it. Oh man, I'm sorry that you're having some intimidation with your local scene. I hope that wherever you move, you're able to find some good gamers who want to get you into the hobby. Having a good group of people to play with really makes everything more fun. And I hope that wherever you're moving, the people there are welcoming, and it's exciting and fun to play with them. Honestly, maybe I'll just bring all my friends to 40k at some point, and then just corrupt it into a friendlier and more welcoming space. Although, we won't win as many games. I don't know what it is about the difference between Age of Sigmar and 40k, but 40k always just feels so much more intimidating to me. Although I love the universe, I started painting, my first army ever, my first Games Workshop models were orcs and goblins. So, space orcs are one of my favorite armies to collect. I've got some nice 40k orcs, but I also like Tau, and my Irish friends keep calling me a weeb, so I guess it was inevitable that I would get a Tau army. That's what you're supposed to play if you're a weeb. I do have, Chinese bamboo flute ambiance going in the background, so maybe they're a little bit more right than I would care to admit. I don't know when you cross the threshold from just enjoying things from other cultures, some of which happen to be Asian, to being a weeb, but they have decided that I have crossed that threshold. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that it affected your life in the education system. That's really unfortunate. You were going to move from the UK to... You were going to move to the UK from Quebec, but then Brexit happened. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people's plans changed because of Brexit. Sucks when a couple people at the top get to make decisions that affect everybody's future. That sucks. Sorry to hear about that. Sorry to hear that people were mean to you. That's not cool of them. Am I English? I'm American. I know a lot of people who paint miniatures are English, like from England. But no, I am not from England. I'm from America. What kind of color scheme do you have? I'm sorry if I don't remember, if you've shown me your work before or are in the Discord posting about stuff. I only seem to be able to consistently match usernames to people if they're all the same across all platforms, so it's a little trickier. I seem very polite. Oh, thank you. I'm swearing a ton. I know you said English wasn't your first language, but I am, I don't know that I'm polite necessarily. That ain't me. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just, I've said fuck like 8 times on this stream already. I don't think I can still be considered polite. I don't know, can you be polite and swear up a storm at the same time? It's an interesting question. This paintbrush is getting real fucked up, and I'm trying to find a better one, and I'm looking at my paintbrushes, and they're all real fucked up. Oh dear. This is the problem when you're me and you don't maintain your brushes at all. Think if Rainbow Dash was a Tyranid. Alright. Yeah, I can see how that might prevent, or present a problem with a certain crowds. Is the Discord public? Yes, it is. You do not have to be a Patreon to join the Discord. Just join us on Discord. No subscription is needed. It is free. You can just be there. If you're a patron, Patreon is supposed to change it so that you have a cool pink username, but Patreon hates me. So if you are a patron and your name isn't cool and highlighted in pink in my Discord, just message me on Patreon and I'll fix that. But unfortunately, the system doesn't love me. But yes, Discord is public. You are welcome to join. We would be thrilled to have you, frankly. You know Dutch, English, and French. Unfortunately, I can only say a couple of things in French, some of which I learned from songs in Moulin Rouge, that definitely would not be polite. I don't speak Dutch at all, so I can't say anything there. Orkdoc, are you keeping a count of how many times I say fuck? Because that's just rude. You can't do that to me. That's, no. Oh dear. Well, at least I'm not Britain's worst, or the British Union is a fuck. Yeah. I mean, fuck's just a great curse word. It has a lot of, it's got a lot of power behind it. It just sounds good. Like, I love when a video game or a show or something is set in another land, and I get to learn just... The problem with the fucking hour-long compilations of music instead of streams is that I fucking occasionally get ads. YouTube wants me to just buy YouTube Premium. What happened? What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, when I'm watching or experiencing media that's set in another place and they'll just have the characters curse in whatever language they speak there. Like, I don't even remember all the curse words in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but I do remember being amused by them. One of my aunts is Greek, so I'm sure she would have been amused by that as well. Rude, you can't track that. I don't want... YouTube doesn't track the statistics of how often I curse. You can't just be sitting over there, little pen and paper tally going. I don't think anybody needs that. We don't need to know the FPM, the fucks per minute. It's a dangerous thing. Forbidden knowledge. 5 times in 30 seconds don't count! Kalos, I will definitely check out your Tyranids. I have to not look at Discord while I'm streaming because I'm very inclined to just look at it for 20 minutes and then I won't get any of my Tau painted. I almost said my Tyranids painted and I'm like, these aren't Nids, these are Tau. But yeah, I have to, gotta keep my focus, but I will definitely check those out after the stream. I'm excited to see them. Frankly, I need to, I just like to see more unconventional paint jobs, I guess people call them. So I'm pretty sure that your Tyranids will look awesome. Thomas and Friends meets 40k. Just get like a... Fuck, what are the tanks called? Don't count that one. That was a thinking one. It doesn't count. There's a tank called a Lehman Russ, I think, in 40k. Just stick a Thomas the Tank Engine face on that. That'd be horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. I'm gonna switch up the music just because the fact that it will occasionally be an ad is gonna really just distract me, and I am annoyed by that. So let's do Japanese lo-fi radio 24/7 aesthetic lo-fi hip-hop music. That's apparently the title of this stream that I am now going to put on for music. And we have an ad for a company. Wonderful. Capitalism at its finest. Ladies, gents, both and neither. You may do that. If you are going around slapping Thomas the Tank Engine heads on Warhammer tanks, I would love to see that. That sounds funny. I'm all for making some weird stuff now and again. I can't be the only one who's just throwing the box art to the wind, you know? Someone else has to do it too. Gonna paint all of the town. It would be nice to be able to get the base coating done on these, but we'll see what happens. I can't say that I'm particularly optimistic about my chances. I did start about a half hour later than I usually do. I don't know how late I will go. Hello, Tigress. Welcome to the stream. How are you? What is on your hobby desk? What are you working on? everyone on the stream, not everyone, some of the people watching have decided to count how many times I swear. So now I'm, like, thinking about what I'm gonna say before I say it. Which is different. I'm not complaining about it, but I'm also complaining about it slightly. I suppose the benefit of being estranged from my family is that I don't really care if my mother hears me swearing. That is no longer a concern of mine. I'm a grown person. I don't have to worry about this kind of nonsense anymore. Oh, you just want me to read out that message, Orc Doc, so I swear again. I see through that. That trickery. I will not be fooled again. I could do it. I could do an entire stream without swearing. That is possible. It could be done. It's just not likely that I'm going to do it. Oh, the Tau you have primed are so close to done. That's awesome. The Tau I have are... There are ways to go. Let's put it like that. But they're coming along. Sooner or later, they'll be tournament legal, depending on whether or not gray counts as a color. Still lots of little choices to make, like what color to do their skin and their gloves, because, while I've painted the commanders and stuff, it's different for the actual guys, because I haven't done, any of them. I'm thinking white, maybe, to tie in with, like, the whipped cream. So that might be where I go. Oh, man. Glenny, you are, you're bringing up some real cursed concepts with all this Nurgle stuff. I don't know if you know, because I mean, this is the first time you've ever been in the chat, but I am not. This is not a safe space for Nurgle. Oh, no. Absolutely not. Nurgle is scary, and I do not like him. He gross boy. Forgot to paint that part of this one, but I got it. Got it. I did also move the video window, so now, hopefully, my little talkie guy isn't blocking the actual view of the stream, which is nice. Hi, Goober! Welcome! How are you doing? What are you working on tonight? Anything cool? Oh, to all of our new viewers, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, maybe consider doing that. I'm getting close to 1,000 subs, and it's making me really happy. So, like, if you want to subscribe, that'd be really neat. You don't have to, because, you know, YouTube is a wild, wild wasteland, and who knows what the algorithm feeds upon. But it's gonna be kind of cool. I want to do something special when we hit 1,000 subs. I just don't know what to do. If you have any suggestions, let me know. If your suggestion is paint Nurgle, maybe keep that suggestion to yourself. It will not happen. Looking at all of you who like to start chaos, who like to say stuff. The crow for everyday heroes tonight. Cool. Hey man, if you're subscribed to me and you don't remember how you found me, that's okay. I will take that. It's not important the how. Just, thanks for being here. And S. Glenny, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. It doesn't, like, give me a pop-up notification on the stream or anything. Otherwise, I'd be, like, calling it out. I think I actually have to have, like, 1,000 subscribers before it starts letting me do cool stream stuff. Or maybe I'm just dumb and don't know how to do it yet, but some streamers are able to get little pop-ups like that. And maybe at some point I'll figure out how to do that. But for now, I don't know how to do that. So I will just verbally say thank you. And there won't be a graphic because I don't have one. But know that, like, in my heart of hearts, there's, like, a little cat that pops up and says, thank you for subscribing, or something like that. You say I sounded like Chris from Total Drama Island? I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult. That's a strange energy. Like, I'm not mad about it, but I don't know if maybe I should be. The fact that Total Drama Island did so well, despite it just being a cartoon parody of Survivor, the American reality TV show, like, what executive was like, you know what? This is the cartoon that we're gonna make. Because that was all, like, Canadian stuff that they just decided to distribute through American Cartoon Network as well. Because it was that, it was, like, 16, and is this Surf's Up? Something like that? They were all done by the same studio. Good day! Good day, Outback Minis in Terrain. I like that I get to say that to someone Australian. I'm not going to try and do any kind of accent because I'm horrible at impressions, much worse accents. And I think that every time an American person attempts to do an Australian accent, it doesn't go well. We did all watch The Crocodile Hunter as a child. That was Steve Irwin was there on the Animal Planet. However, none of us ever learned how to speak like him convincingly. I did also watch, The Rescuers Down Under quite a lot, the sequel to Disney's The Rescuers, and that's a pretty good film as far as Disney sequels go. There's like a little Australian kangaroo rat in there named Jake. He's pretty fun. I think his name is Jake. Like, 80% sure it's Jake. It could be something else. My cat, Achilles, is looming off to the side, and I can tell he wants to jump on this desk and eat this towel. I know he wants to do it. But he's a good boy, so he's not going to do that. No, Achilles, I said you're a good boy, so you're not going to do that. He's looking at this desk and trying to figure out how to jump onto it. So there may be a cat jumping onto this desk. He's trying to figure it out. It's actually really cute, but he can't. Hello, Nick. Have you joined us before, Nick? I feel like I've said hello to a Nick before. Was it you or was it a different Nick? I don't know. Total Drama Island is not Studio Ghibli, Carson. Get out of here with that. You know better than that. You know better than that. Yeah, Tao Test Kitchen is a really strong stream title. I'm quite proud of it, but I can't take credit for it. Somebody else suggested it. Unfortunately, it was not something that I came up with. But I did immediately steal it. It was too good of a suggestion. I used to be calling it Tao Hospital, but now is Tao Test Kitchen. Rescuers Down Under, the most inexplicably lush-looking animated film of the 90s. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Achilles, frustrated that he cannot get on the desk, decided to knock over a controller and silence our music briefly. Are you throwing a tantrum, buddy? That's very immature. '90s animated movies were different. They sure were. They sure were. Every era had its differences. But like, if you are talking about, it's the difference between films that kids from the 90s watched or films that came out in the 90s, because like Lion King is a 94 film. And that's beautiful. This is your first time, Nick. And you come up with the pun Totoro Drama Island. Yep. You are amongst friends. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, because puns like yours are fantastic and very welcome here. And maybe join us on Discord. It's free. Some people seem to think that it wasn't free or a public Discord, but it is. And, you know, if you're painting anything or working on anything, you can show it off there. We talk about all kinds of nonsense all the time. Someone was trying to quiz me about my Disney trivia knowledge today, so that was kind of fun. We need to assign kid shows to Warhammer. That would be interesting. Don't tell me to hush my mouth. The Lion King did come out in 94. That's the truth. You can look it up. I went to animation school. I have a degree. I know things. I mean, that doesn't necessarily certify that I learned the year The Lion King came out, but like, people think that chemists know every single thing about chemistry, so I'm gonna use that whole art degree claim wherever I can. I like how this pouch is sculpted on the towel. My camera's probably too fuzzy for you to see it, but it just looks like he's got a little box for all of his snacks right there, and it's very satisfying. I think all Tau should be able to carry snacks with them into battle. But that's just like me, isn't it? To find a way to work snacks into a Warhammer army. Return to Oz, best film made in 1985. Oh man, Return to Oz is a weird one. Not my favorite. I never saw it as a kid. I saw it when I was a bit older. Because someone was like, this is a really fucked up... Ah, fuck! There it is. Swearing again. I was doing so well. Someone said it was a really messed up version of Wizard of Oz. So I checked it out. And I was like, yeah, it definitely is. But I just didn't get much out of it. I think I would have found it terrifying if I watched it when I was a kid, though. Those, like, weird guys on stilts who skate around. That's something. Goober, yeah, that's a fever dream, alright. Because if you try and explain that movie to somebody who's never seen it, it's very hard to piece together. I keep going to the theater and seeing films that, like, aren't the popular films. They're just, like, the weird art films or the limited time events that people are seeing or whatever. Or, like, the A24 films that come out. And none of them have reasonable titles for films to go and see. The next film I'm looking forward to going and seeing is Jordan Peele's next film, which is called Nope. So this year I will have seen a film called Men, a film called Everything Everywhere All at Once, and a film called Nope. So anytime anyone asks me what movie I'm watching, it sounds like I'm giving them a really weird and or pretentious answer. Last night I went and saw a film called The Deer King, which I was not impressed by, unfortunately, but at least that one had a name that I could, like, reasonably tell people what I was seeing. Flavor Warriors and Snack Finder squads. That's actually pretty cute, Keegan. Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. How have you been? I was thinking of you the other day because I think Tabletop Time posted a video where they were reviewing Warhammer Plus, the streaming service, and I never got around to finishing the Exodite. And you were kind enough to help me locate that before, which was nice. I enjoyed the episodes that I saw. I do not think that I would ever subscribe to the platform as a whole. If I like spooky or eerie movies, The Lighthouse is a good one. I have seen The Lighthouse. I definitely, like, there was a lot going on in that film, and it was definitely spooky and weird, and just, it's an A24 distributed film, so I try and see as many A24 films as possible, because they're always weird. Achilles. Don't push my water bottle off the desk. The people are gonna see that. They're gonna see that. You being naughty. But I have seen The Lighthouse. While I admit that both performances by both actors were quite dedicated, and it's always nice to see a horror film done in a weird style on a small set with a single concept just explored very thoroughly, it wasn't my favorite. For me, personally, with my own tastes, I give it, like, 2 out of 5 stars. Which feels like a shame, because I realize that it's a good film. Generally speaking. However, I'm incredibly particular with stuff, with media, things I like to consume, DVDs that I'll actually buy, things that I would recommend to other people. And while The Lighthouse was interesting, it only gets 2 out of 5 stars from me. So unfortunately, that one's not going to be one that I recommend to too many people. Oh man. Keegan, I hope everything's okay out there. You stay safe. You stay safe. It did kind of feel like cosmic horror without the cosmic horror. And I get that it's like the ravages of isolation and shit like that, which is interesting. Also, you know, toxic workplaces, which are and exploitation are interesting themes to have worked into there. All that stuff with the Scrimshaw mermaid, I was kind of just sort of meh on. Like, I get it, but also, not my thing. A24 always has, like, 1 or 2 really uncomfortable sex scenes in them. Every single fucking horror film, for some reason. And those are always my least favorite part. I'm like, I get it. I understand why this scene is in the film. But I tend to go and see them in theaters, and it's just me and, like, I don't know, 3 other people watching something very strange happen, and I never know how to react to that. Like, I don't know if any of you guys saw Men, directed by Alex Garland, but, yeah, it was a weird one to see in theaters. Let me just put it like that. Orkdoc, Midsommar, yes. Big fan of Midsommar. Midsommar gets a 3 out of 5 from me, which is quite a high score. I like Midsommar. And then Ari Aster also made Hereditary, a film which shook me to my core so much because I have some family trauma. That one gets 4 out of 5 stars from me. Very, very few films get 5 out of 5 stars. It is seldom given. It is an honor reserved for the very best. So, You have to know that Hereditary is a very good film, and one that I would readily recommend to other people. It did affect me a lot, though, because trauma. What do I think of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I'm a fan of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think it's a fun romp. So long and thanks for all the fish. I have not rewatched it recently enough to the point where I started logging films in my planner, which I got. My planner has the Mothman on it, but it is also like an agenda day planner thing, which makes me feel kind of like a nerd and an adult to use, but it does keep me on track as far as the days go. But it has a little section in the back for movies, so I've been writing down my ratings for some of them. Yeah, if you love that kind of stuff, then, I mean, The Lighthouse is all about that. That's a perfect film for you. Hereditary was real good and real messed up. I agree. I knew someone was going to bring up the dinner scene. Yep. That's exactly the same. I feel the same about that dinner scene. Everything in that film was presented in such an interesting way, too. Like, they subvert your expectations so well, and I don't want to give any spoilers for it, because if you are watching this stream and you haven't seen it, you really should. It's quite good. But yeah, what you kind of expect to be the bad guy, sort of, at the start of the film, is not at all what happens. And they do it in such an interesting and sudden way that it really catches you off guard. It really does. It's nice. That's fair, Easton. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the best film of the 70s. I love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I have it both on... I think I have it both on DVD and VHS. Because I still have a VHS player. Because I am the person that I am. I cling to some of my old things. I don't quite know what it is about humans. Like, if you think about it, nostalgia is a really weird emotion to experience. But boy, do we cling to that sometimes. Having, you know, some, like, childhood trauma and family issues and stuff like that, I don't always remember my childhood too good, but I do remember that I loved watching movies on VHS, so I've kept as many VHS tapes as I reasonably could. Most of them aren't even my childhood VHS tapes. They are ones that I've bought from Goodwills and thrift stores and the like, but they're just the same as the ones that I used to own. So I cling to those. They're comforting in a way. Family and Abuse, check out Antlers. I have seen Antlers. Antlers was fairly good. I liked that the monster towards the end sounded and even kind of looked like a cleric beast from Bloodborne. However, the film does use Wendigos as a monster, and I'm pretty sure that indigenous communities have asked that not be used as just kind of like a Bigfoot cryptid monster thing. It's a little bit disrespectful. So I think that maybe Antlers should have chosen a different type of monster to explore, just because people from those cultures and communities have asked that not be sensationalized. It is not a part of their culture that they want to have appropriated. So I didn't know that Antlers was about Wendigos when I went and saw it in the theater. If I had known, I probably would not have seen it for that reason. The only VHS tapes we still have are the original release of A New Hope, The Mummy, and Kiss Psycho Circus. It is always funny seeing, like, when people see that I have a ton of VHS tapes, they try to recall, like, which 6 they still have lying around in their attic or something like that. And it's always such a weird collection. 99% of Wendigo rep in media is the really surface level shit and isn't nearly as cool. I mean, I don't know that any of it's supposed to be cool. I think it's really a cautionary tale from a culture that I'm not a part of. That is not necessarily something that is supposed to be examined by people outside of that culture. I haven't researched it extensively, but I know enough to know that I am not the person who can speak about that particular monster. So I'm not going to, and I'm not going to try. Worst film ever, in my opinion. Ooh, man, that's a loaded question. I mean, I've seen a lot of bad movies. Like, a lot of bad movies. Jeez. I mean, can we narrow it down? Can it be, like, the worst film that I happened to see this year? Because I don't know if I can give you an objective answer. There's not one film that I've, like, held in my head and shook my fist at and been like, this is the shittiest thing I've ever seen. But I've certainly seen some bad movies. The most recent one that I watched, and I was like, this was just a waste of my time to watch. Oh, God. Like, I want to say Eraserhead was really bad. But even then, like, it was kind of interesting in a way. It wasn't boring. So I can't say that it was the worst film that I ever saw. Because, like, a film that is boring is worse to me than one that's just, like, nothing. Like, you know, at least if I didn't like it, or if I thought it was stupid, I had a thought about it. The ones that are just boring are really, you know, like, what's the point of me even watching that? Eraserhead is fantastic. I'm sorry, Tigress. I disagree. I didn't like it very much. See, that's why I said I know I'm gonna have unpopular opinions. I knew someone in here was gonna be like, excuse me, Eraserhead is like a classic and very good. I knew that was gonna happen. But, like, yeah, I don't think I can even say it's the worst film. God. Now I'm really trying to think. Like, a film that I won't even watch because I'm just like, nope, I saw it once and that was enough. That's so hard to answer. I watch so many films that, like, you know, if there's a bad one in the mix, in a couple weeks it's forgotten and it's replaced by something else. What's better, Narnia or Harry Potter? Well, considering that J.K. Rowling is wildly transphobic, Narnia. That's an easy one. I'm not saying C.S. Lewis was no saint or anything, but he ain't up there on Twitter telling people that they should die. Easy choice. You watched The Crow, Wicked Prayer, the fourth Crow movie recently for research purposes, and you think it's legitimately the worst movie you have ever seen. There you go. Eraserhead. Yeah, see, now people are going to have a passionate discussion about Eraserhead, absolutely. That is kind of what I expected. It's always interesting how cult classics bring out people's opinions like that. No, see, like, I like bad movies. Like, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a film that I would recommend to people. With the caveat that, like, this is, like, a dumb, fun movie to watch at Halloween or something like that. Like, there is a fun aspect of that that's worth seeing. I'm like, yeah, it's cheesy and corny and the characters are terrible and the effects are, you know, what they are. But there's something to that that's fun and campy and interesting, and yeah, like, I mean, they make people into cocoons of cotton candy. Like, yes, absolutely. That's fucking hilarious. I love that. So yeah, I mean, like, bad movies are still. You know what? Fuck. What is it? I recently walked out last Halloween. I walked out of a werewolf film because I was like, this is shit. Oh, I don't remember what it is. It's like an old werewolf film. That starts, the opening scene is in like an adult film store. And pretty much it's just werewolves and people wanting to get with werewolves for like the whole first 40 minutes or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need to be watching this. This isn't for me. I guess I really hate films like that where it feels like it is just an excuse to have shots of, you know, people banging. That's not for me. I don't get much out of that. Yeah, I'm sure anything that's super racist would also be pretty bad to watch. I don't really think I'm gonna do a quest for the worst film that I've ever seen. I prefer to celebrate the good ones rather than lament the bad, but there's certainly some films out there. Like, Jupiter Ascending is pretty whack as hell in terms of having a plot, characters, or an arc. Or anything to say. But at least it's visually something, and Eddie Redmayne in there is weird. That I have something to say about it. Listen, Keegan, I was working at the movies at the time, and they were like, hey, either you can work concessions and leave early, or you can be the person that sits in the theater and make sure that people aren't on their phones. And usually I prefer to do that, because I have a good time watching films. I like that, you know, it's fun. And then I was like, yeah. 40 minutes in, I went and found my manager, and I was like, this film makes me reasonably uncomfortable. And he was like, you know what? That is understandable. That is, yeah, that's, you got a point there. Well, I hope you had a fun time joining us. Thanks for being here, S. Glenny. You have a good rest of your night. You had some fun questions, so it was great talking with you. I'm gonna be thinking about, like, worst films ever. I mean, even that one I didn't watch all the way through, so does that mean I can say categorically that it's the worst? Have a nice night, Tigress. Thanks for joining us. Wolf Cop. I've never seen Wolf Cop. Someone jokingly, like, when we were scrolling through Hulu or whatever, trying to find something to watch, was like, we should watch Wolf Cop, and then we laughed at the title and didn't watch it. I think we also laughed at the title of Velocipaster or something like that, and didn't watch it. I tend to want movies to be good when I watch them. Like, I watch films in good faith, expecting some cinema. But every now and again, you get something that's just weird. Like, everybody knows about like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman, those old Rankin Bass stop-motion films. Like, you guys get me? You know what I'm saying? But how many of you actually knew that they made a Halloween one? There's a Halloween stop-motion Rankin Bass film called Mad Monster Party. Mad Monster Party. I've watched that. It's not great, but it is fun. I've seen the trailer for Rubber the Tire That Tries to Kill People, and again, that just seems like a film that I would not enjoy watching. Most of the time, I don't really get much out of that. Your mom got mad at you for how many times you'd watch Mad Monster Party? I love the, like, little zombie chefs and bellhops in that, just, like, hanging around in the background, because they had to have background characters. They're just, like, in there in the little kitchen, like, cooking stuff. It's so cute. Love them. Glad someone else on this earth has heard of Mad Monster Party. That makes me happy. We're gonna finish base coating this towel, and then I might actually call it a night. My back's starting to hurt, which is fun, and by fun, I mean it's not. Unfortunate product of scoliosis running in the family, so I'll probably finish up this towel and then close up the test kitchen for the night. I know I don't stream as long as I usually do, and I'm sorry to those of you who might be disappointed by that, but sometimes that's just the way of things. Unfortunately, I'm getting to the point in time where I probably need to just go ahead and invest in a better chair or something like that, because this is like a kitchen chair that I just have at my desk, and it's probably not the best thing to paint in. But at least this way, we'll have all of the base coating done on the fabric and the guns for these guys. And next time, we can sponge on some brown, and then maybe move on to painting the secondary color, which is going to be that beautiful bright green that I'm really excited about getting to put all over these guys. Thinking I might also try out the Tamiya panel liner that I have on these lads instead of my typical washes, after doing, you know, a brown wash on the guns and things like that. But I'm kind of excited to try that on the suits and see how that looks. Not used that product before, but I'm excited to try it. Alright, that's our base coating done. Alright. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed talking about bad movies and that you have a good rest of your night. That is the kitchen closed for tonight. Be good to yourselves, and I'll see you in the next stream. It won't be too long.